Isn't it very annoying how many of us have this fear that stops us from having a better life? I think for me personally, it's something that really touches home. As many years ago, fear was something that just stopped me from doing the things that I loved, from achieving things, and it forced me into a life that actually is much worse. Hi, welcome to Quietminds. Just as I said before, this is something that touched me really, really deeply, how fear holds us back and how if we don't choose to embrace this fear, we end up in this loop that we'll get to nowhere. Years back, I used to take many odd jobs. The reason being is because I had this great fear of a desk-bound job. I had fears of doing more, being more. So I ended up just doing menial jobs that I felt very unaccomplished and felt very degraded. Fantastic thing was that there was a period of time something clicked in me and I decided to embrace that fear, to find something that was more than what my fear could take away. And it led to one thing to another, to a new education, to a university degree, and here I am doing the things that I love in cybersecurity. One thing that I've learned greatly was that this fear is actually a signpost for you to do more, to embrace it. Don't be afraid of it and don't have it lock you down. Just always know that you are made for more. You are made for something greater. You are able to live up to your potential, and I believe in that. I believe that you are able to do it. Just as I gone through that journey, I believe you can do as well. So here are some of the ways that really got me into moving past this fear to really draw the energy from this fear to push me forward. The one thing is that I discovered something more than what my fear could take away. So during that period of time, I found that I valued more about my future. I just got married then, and the prospect of having not being able to support my family was more important to me, and I discovered that it just trumped all my fears away. The other thing is that I changed my perspective of this feeling, of this emotion. I realized that it was something that I shouldn't be afraid of, but something I can draw strength from. And I think it reminds me of this scene in Batman. It's a fantastic trilogy. And in one of the scenes, Bruce Wayne, Batman, was stuck in the prison by Bane. And at one point of time, one of the jailers shared with him this fantastic wisdom that really touched me in the ways that how can you jump further, how can you move faster, or basically how can you go beyond what you are able to without the power of fear to push you forward. And I encourage you to embrace that fear, just as what that wisdom said. You are made for more. You are able to go faster. You are able to push yourself. Do not be afraid of this fear. This fear is for you. It was built into you, meaning it's supposed to serve you. Take hold of it. I encourage you to do it. Take courage. And so to be able to control this fear, to be able to be present with this fear, one of the good things that we can do is to use meditation to allow ourselves to be immersed in this fear, to then utilize it and not be afraid of it. So I invite you to join me in this time of meditation, just about 5 minutes, and I encourage you to continue to do this every day. And so let's begin. So we find ourselves in a quiet place. Just take the time to just allow yourself to sink in, eyes open, and let's start by taking a few deep breaths. Breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Again, in our nose and out through our mouth. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Let's begin by just allowing ourselves to feel the presence of where we are. Just take notice of the different points of contact, the weight of our bodies, and allow ourselves to just feel the weight sinking in as it presses down. And just acknowledge the different parts of our bodies, feet on the floor, our hands on our laps. And slowly just direct our attention to the room that you're in, just taking notice of the sounds around us, just allowing it to come and go. And then we gently just bring our attention back to our bodies. Starting from the top of our heads, let's just scan through our bodies to just understand and taking knowledge of what we feel at this point of time. So starting from the top of our heads, let's gently scan down, not dwelling on it, but just acknowledging and moving it on.